You said something in a meeting 3 days ago, and you're still thinking about it. Was it too much? Did they think you were stupid? Did anyone notice that your voice shook slightly? You've replayed it 17 times. The other people in that meeting, they've already forgotten it happened. This is what it feels like to care too much about what people think. And if you do this, you are not weak, you are not insecure, you are not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. The problem is, it was built for a very different world. For most of human history, being accepted by your group wasn't a social preference. It was a survival requirement. If you were rejected by your tribe, cast out, excluded, abandoned, you didn't just feel bad, you died. No shelter, no food, no protection from predators. Alone meant dead. So the brain developed a powerful alarm system, one that monitored your social standing constantly, one that flagged any sign of disapproval, rejection, or exclusion as an urgent threat requiring immediate attention. That system is still running today. In every meeting, every conversation, every text you send and wait for a reply to, your brain cannot tell the difference between my colleague didn't laugh at my joke and I am being cast out of the tribe. Both feel like danger, because once they were. Here's what's happening in your brain when someone judges you, ignores you, or leaves you on read. Your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, activates in exactly the same way it would if you were in physical danger. Research by neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger shows that social pain and physical pain share the same neural pathways. Being excluded from a group activates the same regions of the brain as breaking a bone. This is not metaphor. This is neuroscience. When your brain treats a disapproving look like a physical wound, it's not overreacting. It's running ancient software that hasn't been updated in 200,000 years. The pain is real. The threat in most cases is not. Now here's the part that changes things. Research by psychologists Thomas Gilovich and Kenneth Savitsky identified something called the spotlight effect. It works like this. We dramatically overestimate how much other people notice us, how much they think about us, how much they remember about us. In one study, participants were asked to wear an embarrassing t-shirt into a room full of people. They estimated that about 50% of people would notice the shirt. The actual number, around 25%. We think we are standing in a spotlight. Everyone watching, everyone judging, everyone remembering. But most people are standing in their own spotlight, too busy worrying about what you think of them to think very much about you at all. The audience you're performing for is mostly imaginary, but understanding the science doesn't always make it stop, because for many people, caring too much about what others think isn't just a cognitive habit. It's a learned survival strategy. If you grew up in an environment where love felt conditional, where approval had to be earned, where conflict felt dangerous, your nervous system learned a very clear lesson. Keep people happy. Stay agreeable. Don't take up too much space, because when people are unhappy with you, something bad happens. This is people pleasing, and it is not a personality trait. It is a protection strategy developed by a younger version of you who needed it to feel safe. The problem is that the strategy has costs. You say yes when you mean no. You shrink yourself to fit into rooms. You lose track of what you actually want because you've spent so long tracking what everyone else needs. And underneath all of it, the exhaustion of constantly monitoring how you're being perceived by everyone around you. Here's the other thing worth knowing. What people actually think of you and what you think they think of you are rarely the same thing. Research consistently shows that we tend to assume others judge us more harshly than they actually do. We remember our mistakes far longer than others do. We assume our anxieties are visible when they usually aren't. We interpret neutral expressions as negative reactions. Your brain is not giving you an accurate read of the room. It is giving you a threat-biased interpretation of the room, filtered through every previous experience of rejection or disapproval you've ever had. It is not seeing clearly, but it is protecting you. There is a difference. So, what do you do with all of this? The first thing is to name what's happening. When you notice the spiral starting, replaying a conversation, catastrophizing a reaction, shrinking yourself preemptively, pause and name it. My threat system is activated. This is old software running. Not to dismiss the feeling, to create distance from it. You are not in danger. Your brain thinks you might be. Those are different things. The second thing is to reality test. Ask yourself, what is the actual evidence that this person is thinking what I think they're thinking? Usually, there is none. Usually, you are filling in blanks with your own fears. The third thing is to practice small acts of authenticity. Not massive vulnerability, not radical honesty. Just one small moment of saying what you actually think, asking for what you actually need, taking up a little more space than feels comfortable. Each time you do this and survive, and you will survive, your nervous system receives new data. It is safe to be seen. Approval is not oxygen. You can exist without everyone's validation. That belief doesn't arrive all at once, but it builds, one moment at a time. You were not born caring this much about what people think. You were born into a world where belonging mattered, and you learned very quickly what it took to maintain it. That learning shaped you, it protected you, and it has also, in ways you're probably aware of, cost you something. The goal is not to stop caring entirely. Some social awareness is healthy, some sensitivity is a gift. The goal is to care less automatically, to have a choice in the matter, to notice when your brain is running the old alarm and decide, consciously, deliberately, how much weight to give it. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be imperfect in public. You're allowed to exist without performing. That is not something you have to earn. It was always already true. If you recognize yourself in this, that's not a coincidence. Most people do, because most brains are running the same ancient software. Subscribe to SelfRevealed if you want to keep understanding why. Every video, we go a little deeper into the patterns shaping your mind. And if you're ready to work on the loop that won't stop, our 14-day overthinking workbook is in the description. See you in the next one.